blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. We're all going through different changes. We're learning more and more about ourselves on a deeper level that will truly bring so many lifetime wonders of magic and power that we never expected. So you keep growing and keep shining. Don't let anybody ever dim your light. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. If you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. Even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up, tell me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are informative or just give you good vibes or inspiration that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times and just needing spiritual guidance, or just confirmation or validation towards life path, or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give you a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. So with that being said, I hope you can be able to resonate with the content of my video. And the channel I'm using today is called Woke Nation, and the music that is playing in the background is called 528 Hertz. Energy cleanse yourself in your home. Heal old negative energies from your house frequencies. We need to do that on a daily. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, nobody expected the butterfly to come out of their cocoon. It is so true. A lot of times, people feel like, oh, I'm in the darkness, and, you know, um, I just feel like I'm just, boxed into the darkness. And that's, I used to use that word darkness is a form of evil, but it's actually not. So I have to allow myself to correct myself. Darkness is where we learn. Darkness is where we grow. Darkness is where we get our strength at. We have endured so many tragic circumstances in our lives that, has made you look at the world as well as people, the people that are around you. It makes you look at people a different way. I've gone through so many different experiences in my life, and just to be able to be open to tell people the things that I've endured was very scary at first. It really was very scary, because it's like when you're opening up and telling things that really has caused burdens in your life of deep rooted pain. It felt like a nightmare I wasn't able to wake up from. Being open about those things, I didn't expect the outcomes that I get now, of outcome of response of all the people that I connect with all over the world. And it's just like a blessing to me in so many ways, whether it was a negative impact of connection or it was a positive one. I've learned, good and bad situations, that I was able to take that knowledge of wisdom from that experience and take it along the way. A lot of times we don't give ourselves that credit to say we are that strong one, or we have what it takes to do that. Because a lot of times when we get set up in change can be very scary, because it just seems like the only way you can believe a certain thing is going to take place in your life unless you be able to see it, you be able to touch it. But these are the things that you have to explore within your life just to be able to believe in the knowing. And a lot of times it's hard to do that. There's so many different people I'm connecting with, and we're going through so many different things. And it's like, in your mind, it's like, dag, is anybody else going through these hardcore things? Maybe it's with family. Maybe it could be with workforce, your financial struggles that's going on right now. It could be a household, your family. Shoot, it could be all of them at one time. And it's just or you have been in that lifestyle that where you are always getting the short end of the stick. That's when things are going to transform for us in such amazing ways, just because you have been down in the dumps. You have explored and experienced things that was, if it was, something good or, making you happy, it was short lived. And it's just like looking at my situation, I may be still dealing with some things, but I know which things that I still need to heal from. But I can appreciate it when I've allowed myself to not get in my emotions about the things I've gone through. Um, I can see the blessings out of those tragic moments in my life. Being able to express myself in front of people just to have that judgment over me, that shows strength within yourself because you're not worrying about what others think of you, what their opinions are of you, because it's like whatever they have to say, this is something that you have to live with, or they want to give you advice on certain things, which could be good. There are some people that'll you'll be they'll be threatened by you and have you try to do something that they know that it's going to mess you all up. And it's like sometimes you have to think towards yourself, be careful of what advice they give because they're not the one who's going to have to suffer with those consequences that's taking place. So throughout this darkness, it's just like, a butterfly. It is first, it's like a, little caterpillar, which they're so cute. I used to love those things when I was growing up. And then they go through that cocoon, which what we're doing right now. You have had your good days, but you have also had some bad days. You have had so many things that's going on in your life where it's like all the ugliness, all the traumatic experiences, all your shortcomings, or even your inner triggers. Maybe something that you didn't even know that was still there, or it was emotions or memories from painful situations that's coming up that you forgot all about. Everything is coming to the surface because they're no longer needed. These are the things that we have suppressed for so long. And even with you merging with your past lives, you're starting to remember certain things from that life, or you're having weird dreams or even phobias that were you didn't even know that was there. All those different things are taking place in your life where it's going to take you towards a beautiful, but it is going to be intense, transformation. And it's just like, I've told many people, it's just like for the mission you're on, they're picking totally different people than what they're used to when it comes to the trait of Heyokas. They needed you. You were chosen. Like, you didn't know for a good minute, but you were chosen. There are some of them. There are some that I connect with that have, lived the law of the land of this culture for a long time. It's like their grandparents, their great grandparents prepared them for all these different things that has taken place in their life, to show them the ropes. Some people just weren't aware and they did little things, just to see, is this person ready? It was kind of like it feels like certain things, like when, if I want to use a metaphor for it, it's like Mr. Miyagi and, Ralph Macchio. It's a Karate Kid, or you want to Jaden Smith, which one? But it's like you're going through those things. They're showing you knowledge. They're giving you that strength, telling you even though you may have fell flat on your face, you can still dust yourself off and get right back up and keep it moving. Or they could have sent you a different, into a direction towards something that you're trying to work hard to manifest into your life, and you keep seeing no. Doors are not opening for you. You're getting frustrated. They tell you to go this way. You go that way and you still didn't get nothing. But during those times, you're learning different life lessons that even though you did get a no at that time, doesn't mean you're not going to eventually get that yes. They do. They know what you want in your life, and it's already written that you're having it. But it's like, how far are you going to really go for it? Are you just going to give up, for the last three no's you got? Are you very persistent? Are you gonna go for yours and don't care how many times you fall down? Is it only counts as when you get back up? And those are the things that they need you to do. Those are the things I had to learn from myself. Going through the things I'm going through, it is a very stressful situation. And when I allow myself to really see everything that is taking place, yes, it was very traumatic for me. Yes, that pain called, that pill of pain called truth, it was hard for me to digest. Going through all these different things, it allowed me to see me in my purest form, and I'm still allowing myself to go through that transformation. Many people I connect with that, I feel like it is it's a big blessing to me because of having so many people connect with me, and they're opening their lives up to tell me their stories of blessings. Me being able to have that gift of second sight for me to be able to say, what they need to hear at that time about their lives, about what's about to take place in their life, or what happened in the past that is going to some way come into full contact with that person again, but this needed to happen back then before it can take its form later on down the line. I'm glad I'm being able to have those type of abilities, and it's helped me so much along the way. And it just seems like the more people I connect with, the more powerful that gets. Sometimes I could connect with people and it'll be a straight radio silence, or it was just like, oh, okay, those people haven't gone through the full life lessons yet, so I'm not able to help them at that time, or they're in the midst of a life lesson, so you have to be able to come around after all that stuff has taken place, because they had to go ahead and get in contact with those life lessons for them to understand, fully understand their purpose of their life mission. So all these different things is coming on, and it's like we're that generation that's supposed to be severing everything. And it's just like, oh my God, we go through so much. And it's just like, well, shoot, it wasn't gonna be a walk in the park. What you expect? So you had to be able to allow yourself to go through the roughest stuff. I mean, it makes me feel like it's like Game of Thrones slash Die Hard and a side of Mortal Kombat in a little bit. Like, dog, that is a lot. That is a lot, you know. But those things, when you allow yourself, because sometimes it's hard to see blessings in the midst of the storm. It can make you just like ready to jump ship, ready to close the store, ready to give up. But these are the things that is going to strengthen you going through these painful situations. They're going to be people that you really admired, really had high regards of respect for. There's going to be that one that's just going to drop you like a bad seed, or they're just going to stab you in the back, and you would have never thought that would have been that case. But it's just like the more people that you have held dear to your heart is the ones they're going to use to break you. And that's and it's like messed up, like, okay, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that, and then you want to do use that against me too. And it's just like so much. And it's just like when everything is over, you'll understand. It's like it's going to be, we don't realize we're right at the brink of that emotional door that's closing that old chapter of old wounds. And it's hard to see that with all the chaos going around. And it's just like, it's not us just as empaths. It's like the whole freaking world is going through a spiritual awakening. It's just a blessing for us because we knew, we had to find out what a spiritual awakening is. Other people would probably be thinking they're losing their last mind or whatever. But it's like the world's going through a spiritual awakening. It's all that evil, the wrongdoing and stuff is starting to come up surface with so many different people that have done dirt, or people have been getting away with too many things, especially with the police force. All these different things are starting to, it's been coming out left and right, but it's just like really intense right now. And it's just these life lessons are coming in the most traumatic ways. Then a lot of times you're dealing with things that really have shook you to the core, to where you have really looked at whoever caused that situation. And maybe like if you were in a very abusive home, and you were in a very toxic upbringing, then all of a sudden you start dating these people that are kind of trading back to the things that you have experienced in your own life. And then it's just like, the more and more you have gone through these things, it's a blessing. I always tell anybody, if you're in a domestic violence situation, which is very hard to do, because sometimes I've known people, I've been that type of person where I made excuses up for the situations I was in when I went through those things. But there are some people that are not lucky like me and be able to come out those situations. So I had to figure out the patterns. I had to learn. I didn't know nothing about no narcissist. I didn't know what a narcissist was. I used to hear that word all the time. I'm like, what is that? And then I started seeing, I'm like, I know a couple of people are like that. But those people are in our lives to where, we have been molded into being these people that we are not. you know we were these spiritual and highly powerful beings, warriors that were over wherever. And then we signed up for these contracts and picked every person that is in our lives for us to be able to have us change them and them change us. But they didn't let us know the fine print is just like all your memory is going to be cut out. All your powers. Well, we might need one or two still there, and the other ones are going to just be laying dormant until you go through some other trauma. All those are there. And it's just like the more and more you're opening yourself up to your knowledge, towards your life, towards what surrounds you, what you're what you're drawn to, what you draw away from. All these things are opening up when you allowed yourself to go open up for knowledge and change and acceptance, responsibility, all these different things. You start learning more about yourself. There are certain things that seem like it's deja vu, like, didn't I do this before? It's just like all these different things are coming up, and it's just like you even have people that you used to hang around. It's like you don't even, y'all don't even connect like that. Y'all ain't vibing like that anymore. Is your habits are starting to change. um the things that you used to get entertained by is no longer entertaining you. So it's just like all these different things are transforming you for the better. And a lot of times with your dealing, and a lot of us, as empaths, we have addictions, and addictions doesn't always have to be drugs. Addiction could be self-harm. Addiction can be, negative thinking towards ourselves and towards others. um Emotional eating, what is it, bulimic, anorexia, all these different things. Or we can talk about pills, drugs. I mean, pills, drugs, pills, marijuana, alcohol. I mean, it's, if I find any not a good one, because anybody like, I started smoking weed back in I think it was like 2012, late in 2012. And it was like, first, I went on a pill binge for a long time after I got hit by a drunk driver, and I died for like about 5 or 10 minutes, I think, and then came back. And I don't even know how that happened, because with you being flatline like that for that long, you should have had some kind of, damage. But I didn't, and it was like in that car accident, I was crushed all on the left side. And, those are the times I started taking pills, but also I was dealing with a lot of identity issues, not really understanding why certain things take place. Why do I feel like something's watching me? Why does it feel like something is about to attack me in my shower? I thought I was losing my mind. But it comes to find out it was a daggone twin flame connection. My dad was always constantly, watching over me. And I'm like, are you telling me this is the reason why I start acting like this? Well, I'm like, you know what? I took a lot of what is it? Psychosis, medical psychosis or whatever you want to call it, psych meds or whatever, because I thought something was really wrong with me. But all these different things took place where it was allowing me to peel away. It's like your trauma is like peeling you away from things that were illusion, became illusion for you. Our, even our things are psychological, to where it'll make you feel like, oh, I'm stuck. And it's like you're not actually stuck, but it's you having to change how you see your situation. And I look at my situation like that because I guess it's just so much I'm hurt with, how my family lied to me about my identity, who my parents were when they knew the whole time, you know, um, being going through abuse just because of who I was related to. That was like really a messed up situation. And for me to swallow all that and still be in my right mind and not be in jail, that was a lot of blessings that I got, and it's like, even though it took me a long time not to be angry, it went from anger to going through a state of shock. And, going from a state of shock to being just very sad, and then it's like being disappointed. All those different things took place in my life. And just being able to know, I started this almost close to 4 years ago, just being able to open up and tell my life experience because of that. And it wasn't easy, because I was like, nobody's gonna believe me. Think people gonna think I'm you know a nut, but I had to deal with all that. But it was just like you had to be able to come with tough skin. People are going to always have an opinion. When people don't want to believe something, they'll try to make a mockery out of you. They'll try to discredit your character. I had to experience all those things. But those are the exact things that made me so much stronger. There's things that is still hard for me to digest. There's things that I'm not used to. um Being able to connect with some of my dad's band members and ex-wife and stuff like that, it was a blessing. Just to be able to see that side of him, because it was just like, people were like, how did you not know? I said, number one, I didn't know my dad as my dad. He was always like a close friend. he was not able to tell me who he was. If that was going to be the connection, he had to be able to not tell me. Now, if I would have asked, he would have had no problem telling me, because it's like, you told me not to tell her, but I'm not gonna lie to her. She asked, but it was like they always made sure my phone calls was always monitored. So going through that time, I always knew I had a special bond with my Uncle Roger, you know. Um, and just knowing when I see my dad on TV, or I seen him, um, watching the concerts on TV, it was like the person I knew was totally different. It was like he could be vulnerable with me. We can laugh, we can joke, we can cry, we can act stupid. And it was, when I seen my dad on TV, I always knew I had a strong connection with him. But I was like, it was always something. It was like he was a man of mystery. So it's just like going through all these different things. I feel like I'm blessed beyond all blessed, even though I still deal with a lot of sadness of, his transition, still trying to come to terms with a lot of that, and it's been hard. But, I always know he's with me. He's been helping me along the way. And that, that's that connection they can't never sever anymore. I always used to try to keep us apart. But these things that I've experienced in my life, I never knew it was going to get like this for me. Connecting with people opening up and telling me their life stories that they have gone through, me being able to help them, being able to remind them. People were like, Ross, you helped me out. I said, no, I didn't. You did the work. All I was is just being that friendly reminder for you that you have what it takes to do anything you want to do. It's up to you if you want to do it. It's always about choice. You have that choice to choose. And that's all I did. I was that listener. I was that friendly reminder, and say, even though we go through the hardest trials, don't think you can't overcome those things. A lot of people feel like, they can't do it. And I can understand that. There's so many days I wanted to walk away. There's so many times I said, bump it, they win. But it's just like God was like, no, no, they are not winning this. You're not giving up. You have a purpose. You're helping other people. You're helping people that find themselves, understand themselves. As you're doing it, I'm doing it. I'm not a teacher. I'm like a teacher and a student at the same time. People are learning off of me as I learn off of them. And it's been a very good blessing. And it's through all this, is helping you recognize the things that needed to be changed. They help you recognize the things that are coming to the surface that still may be a trigger for you. And there are certain things that are still a trigger to me, But I have to say, Rosalind, don't be hard on yourself. It's like, look at all the things you're doing, but you're doing it in a sober mind. You used to be able to deal with things that, you know, um, I dealt with them by choice of alcohol, or, you know, uh, painkillers, uh, weed, stuff like that. But now I'm facing everything head on, and that's not easy. I have to tell myself, you got to take it day by day. Yeah, you might feel like this today, but tomorrow's a new day. You can always reset yourself. You know, um, there's the situation, the things that was sent to break you is the things that's going to catapult you into your own power. Recognize your own strength. Not Don't ever deny yourself that just because of others. Never dumb yourself down, water yourself down. If somebody can't take you at 100 proof, they don't need to be taking you at all. Never allow yourself to sell yourself short. Because there's people who will tell me, Rosalind, I want to do this, but I have to do this. I say, you have to have that courage, and it's hard to do that, even when, I have friends and stuff that wants to do YouTube channels, and I'm like, okay, what's your concept? What are you going to do? Because I always, I want to see them win. Whatever you're going for, if I can give you some help or feedback or whatever, I want to be able to do that, because I had people that were helping me along the way when I first started. God and universe made sure they orchestrated, they guide me in certain things, or they'll give me certain things, they'll guide me towards that I can add on to my path of knowledge, or my path of change, or my path of, just transformation, because we're all going through that right now. And it's just like, a lot of times we don't want to give ourselves that credit that you are strong. A lot of times we have gone through things where we and shut people out. We have trust issues, we kind of have mommy issues, daddy issues, all these different things. But throughout all that, there's things you want to do with your life. There's dreams that you have that you're trying hard to manifest, and all those things are going to happen. But there is, you have to get over your fear. You have to get over procrastination because you're scared. Doubt, uncertainty, all those things. There's times I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And with my dad's essence, he's always pushing me out of my comfort zone. He's like, well, you can do this. I'm like, yeah, it's easy for you to say, you're doing it this way, you know. But it was a blessing to be able to have him in my corner. Even though he couldn't physically be there, he was always there for me spiritually. And I'll be forever grateful for that. But never, they're not, and you're standing in your own, strong armor and all. They're not going to expect you, and that's the reason why universe and God picked you like that in the first place. They already know how to identify certain things, so they had to pick totally opposite of what some of these characteristics stand for, and they had to be able to expand that, because whatever is taking place is about to present itself to us. They're going to need a whole lot of us to deal with that. So allow yourself to let change take its place, even though it can be scary, especially if you don't know what's coming around that corner. You just have to allow yourself to be there, because you already know if it's universe guiding you towards that, there's nothing to fear. They're not going to take you. Now, if it's the person down the street, or Ralph says the cat down the road, that'll be a different story. But this is universe. And they're not going to take you somewhere where you're going to fall or prosper. So I hope you are able to resonate with the content of this video. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay loving one each other. God, dog, one another. No matter what race, what nationality, what sexual preference, we all bleed and we all can love. So let me go ahead and give a post notification shout out to Real Spiritual Boss, Tawan Jr., Abigail Rivera. Much love to you, and Asaya Zell. Much love to you as well. And Authentic A, much love to you as well. So I will see y'all on my next video. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom. And so you can be able to know when I'm about to do my next videos. Drop me a line. I would love to give you a post notification shout out. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Tell somebody about the channel. And if it's your first time, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. And if you want to get in touch with me privately, you can always find me at Facebook Messenger up under my name. You don't have to have the Facebook page to have Facebook Messenger. And you can just shoot me a message. There's a lot of people who've been sending me Facebook requests, but they really don't send me a message. And just let me know about your inquiries about your spiritual path, or wanting to get a deeper understanding. So I'll try my best to help people with those. If not, I can give you the materials and the information you need to get you further down your path. So know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I pray that everything that you're trying to manifest, it comes 100,000 times more than what you expected or what you even asked for to pray for. And I hope it comes so much sooner than you expected as well. Even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity words, 5 frequencies. You never know. All those things can take somebody a long way. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.